Okay, so I got this nice watercolor paper, and I coffee stained several pieces, about 4 or 5. 4 I like. This one is like my tester because it came out a little bit rough, which could be cool. You know, some cool textures in there. But for what I'm going for, I wanted more of a smooth texture so you can actually see my artwork a little bit better. But I'll just show you kind of like I'll do my warm up on this one. So there's a couple ways you can do this if you're kind of making portfolio pieces for your clients to see, and you want to make sure that you are really tuning into what kinds of art you want to be known for, what you want to do more of, and what you feel excited and lit up by. This is not a commission piece for anyone or anything. This is just totally about what you want to do and showcasing it in the best way you possibly can. So we're going to do some big pieces. You could totally do several smaller pieces, but I like this size because for a large tattoo, I want to really showcase what it would look like for like a full body piece to be done. So you can take a roll of tracing paper and you can sketch out what you want to do first and see if it is actually the right size, if it's, to scale, before you commit to doing it on the watercolor paper that you spent all this time coffee staining. I'll open this up. I like these red and blue pencils because you can draw with one and then do another layer with the other one, and you can get more detail and see more of what you're doing, and then do another draw over with actual regular graphite, HB, to really refine what you're going to do. Or just transfer that sketch you did with the colored pencils onto the coffee stain paper, and then go in with your India ink or your permanent pen markers and go to town on it and just detail it all out. Intuitively freestyle it on the coffee stain paper. It's a really good place to practice, and it's sort of a middle ground between just working on tracing paper and sketches, or gets you out of working on Procreate in your iPad and on into tangible form, which is going to help you become a better tattooer. And you can, so the middle ground is practicing on something you care about, but is not as, permanent as working on someone's skin that you're going to tattoo. So you can practice with permanent markers, drawing on something you care about, freestyling, and that will give you so much more practice to be able to do it live on skin when your client is there, and then be able to tattoo that. So that's sort of this process and what we're building up for creating a really beautiful tattoo portfolio piece. I'm going for just a loose back piece design. So it just needs some sort of outline to imagine this is an actual person. And so we don't want these kinds of sketchy lines, you know, on the nice paper. So we're practicing it first on the tracing paper. And this where you just switch the pencil. You can really refine the shape we're going for. And I like these to be a little loose and gestural. I think it adds to the feeling, the energy of the piece. This could be a front torso or it could be a back. And then this is cool. This is a really thick pencil, like a carpenter's pencil or something like that. So I can just trace those lines. This is a quick transfer technique. You can use that Seural transfer paper. This is just a quick alternative to that. Should we keep it here? I'll just put this here. Okay, zoom in. So I'm putting the graphite flat down. And I'm going to tape it. I'm going to tape it I'm going to get it placed where I want it to be. And then I'm going to tape it more on the back side. So it's not going to move. Then you just need something, it can be the back of a pen tip. And you're going to press down. And it will begin to transfer those lines. I mean, you can also just sketch this directly on if you want to. But I don't want those sketchy lines on this one. Now I can see my outline here of my form. And I can still use this and practice a design if I want to before I put it on here. But we're just going to go for it today. And I'm going to use I like these little click pencils. You can erase this later, so I'm just going over those lines. And we're going to go over them again with our India ink. Of course, you could always erase this stuff. And it doesn't take off the coffee stain. So when we go over it with India ink, we won't see these imperfections. It'll be more of a beautiful calligraphied shape here. And I'm just going to go over it with Sharpie too. So you can kind of see what it would be like. If you were using an India ink, you would have more of a brush stroke, and then this would all be filled in. You can also do this with Sharpie like I'm doing and then go over it with India ink and a brush later. I like doing that, so that's what I like to do, is draw everything with the Sharpie first, get it laid out, and then go in with a brush and do some more sculpting to the lines after I've done my drawing. You could go vice versa too. Just so you can see kind of, it gives it a little bit more shape, and maybe you only darken that area and then you also darken this area and thicken this up. So you have a couple different areas of some contrast. And that will be more solid there. And then we can go in and we can fully detail out a beautiful back piece design that we really want to do. You can do more precise transferring with drawing something more precise on tracing paper, and then using the Sorel transfer. It's like a chalky paper. You can Google it, get a roll of it, and then you place that face down, place your tracing paper over it, and do the same pressing down technique, and you can get a much more precise outline of something you want on any color paper, black paper, gold paper, anything you want. And that's how we begin. So I'm just gonna go in the flow and start working on a intuitive back piece of a design that I really want to do more of, and that will help my new potential clients see more of what I want to do and then book a session with me. So it's a really good way to start elevating your portfolio, to elevate the types of tattoos that you get to do on a regular basis.